What's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are down here at Winnebago and I am getting my first Thrive tour done. So pretty darn exciting. It's their brand new line, came out here pretty recently. I saw it down at Hershey and I was extremely impressed in how they do things. The countertops in particular are very, very cool. It's a molded fiberglass basically, where the sink is also part of that mold. So not only is it lighter, but it's still extremely durable. And it reminds me a lot of the solid surface countertops with a little bit of benefits of not adding too much weight. As you can see, it's a fairly large RV. It's nothing too crazy. It's dual axles, but it only weighs roughly 6,700 pounds, something like that. So I think you guys are gonna really like it. If you don't mind, since this is the first time that I've worked with Winnebago, I would appreciate you know, a hello, a hi, a how you doing, whatever kind of feedback you might have. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. That would make my day. But I'll put a link for Funtown RV if you guys want to access some pricing or anything like that. But let's enjoy it here. I mean, it's pretty darn cool. First time walking through them. And one thing that I noticed, very clean cut. Like the bottoms of the RVs, man, just really smooth looking. It's a really nice aesthetic to it too. It's kind of got that old school Thrive. I love how that T goes over that. Something small, maybe dorky, maybe that's just something that I like, but I think it's pretty darn neat. But again, it's the 2026 Winnebago Thrive 24 RKS. So rear kitchen disposition, my favorite style of setup for a travel trailer, you know, if I didn't have kids. But like I said, the dinette is a little bit different. You've seen this floor plan before. I think Rockwood has it. A couple different brands have it. There's an Avenger I just shot that has it. But usually they have like a little hut trait here. They went ahead and increased it. Sorry, let me put this on airplane mode. They went ahead and increased the size of the dinette. There's still a couple little foot holders right there where you can put in like your shoes. But now they have this, what they call the MegaDinette, 42 by 82 when this thing is down. So absolutely incredible. That's going to be over 6.5 feet. I mean, that's it's wild that a guy, a round belly like myself, you could have two roundies fitting in that thing, absolutely no problemo, which is pretty darn cool. You also have your fuse box built in and put out of the way, and it's going to be soft close for that as well, which I think is pretty neat. You got a 15K here in the living room, and then an optional 8K in the bedroom that's going to be just a drop-in, so it'll still chill you out pretty darn good. Obviously, you got your TV right over here over that window. It's an emergency exit. Pull, push, and plop. You can get out in a hurry. A little bit of extra storage, both left and right. And again, the soft close for the cabinet. So if the grandkids are here being little dinglings, you don't have to worry about them, you know, clanging and banging. But this would make a great couples unit or single traveler. Now, they're also using a brand of furniture I'm not familiar with, the Apex, which after doing some research, I think that's kind of unique to them. But the cool thing after talking with one of the, one of the main guys here, is that they can custom make the furniture to fit how they want it to. So typically in most RVs, the furniture kind of dictates the size of your slide and what you can do with it. But this is all can be, you know, switched around. So they really went with, you know, what I would consider a beefier version of the furniture. Let me just sit down and show you what I'm talking about because, you know, again, I am a bigger guy. You know, I'm 6 foot, 310 pounds or so. And you can see sitting down, you got armrest. You also have a thing that you can plug in right here, just for like a little drink holder or something like that. You know, maybe put like your phone down because there are no cup holders would be the only downfall. Now right over here, you have the nice latch for the manual. If you're going to go with the manual, you might as well go with the one that's got the nicer latches. And you can see I'm laying down pretty flat. It's pretty darn comfortable. You could definitely take a snoozer. There's also USB and universal C along with your light switch right there. But again, it's also directly across from your TV. So if you're someone that values you know, movie night, like me and my honey buns, we like to watch a bunch of movies. That's pretty darn nice to have that in your RV. So back here, we're getting to the rear kitchen side. And this is what I want to tell you about that, the molded fiberglass. It's absolutely crazy looking. It looks so nice. But the main benefit is one, and they actually said that they took a hammer and hit it. So very sturdy, because my concern was fiberglass. If a kid throws in a plate, is anything going to happen? But that, you know, obviously the hammer kind of takes all those concerns out of there. But there's going to be no seams, so nowhere that you have to worry about leaking. Even in a undermounted bowl, you have a seam there, which, you know, hopefully water doesn't get in, but it's definitely an access point for that to happen. Let me see if I can adjust my camera. Big storage right over here, just above the sink. and then a little bit more as well. So as you're doing dishes, it's kind of conveniently, you know, there, baby. You got your Furrion microwave with the baked potato mode along with popcorn. You got the 3-top burner to whip up all the fixins with the glass grate and an oven big enough for like a DiGiorno or something like that. Another way that they save some money on this one is usually there's a drawer in a drawer for floor plans that have this. They went ahead and just put in that little piece of wood right there and now plop that in. So not only does it save them money, but it also adds a good use to you, because I think you could take this outside, put it on your picnic tables, you know, and you're good to go. You got the double trash can. Love to see that. You got a little recycling. You got a little trash. You are ready to rock. You also got your plumbing right there. And then hitting those dishes from one angle. It's not one of those fancy high rises, but it's still nice. And then the molded fiberglass countertops. It does remind me of the solid surface. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. You can tell how that ring clicks. Still it's a real sturdy board. Hanging rod right there, removable shelf too. I think that's pretty neat to have that, just in case you want to fit in, you know, a couple extra hoodies or whatever you might be having. Even those are soft close as well. So flip it around. This is the control for the JBL speaker. So speaker right there and here. So I'd imagine you can get this thing bumping pretty darn good. Your slide out control and your awning, and I'll close the slide out here in just a moment. But you have all your lights, your awning lights, and your main lights there too as well. All right, so now we are heading back into the back here. You got your control for your heat and AC. You got a window over here for a good view. Maybe if you want to leave this open while you're showering, you can play a little friendly neighbor. But you do have a fairly large shower, nothing too crazy. You know, I'm, again, a bigger guy, and I think this is the 36 by 36, kind of like a motorhome-inspired type shower, I would say. But you are looking, I mean, I'm in my Skechers, so I'm a little taller than usual. Standing tall on these bad boys. Floating like a dream, by the way. They should be called the Cloud Walkers. I think they're called Dream Walkers. Anyway, you're probably about 6'4", 6'5" right there. And then you have the curtain as well that closes in. And somebody commented that there's actually metal in there that helps it from dew. I don't know if that was an industry plant or if that's a reality that we live in, but it's kind of cool. You can, you know, hang a towel on me. And then you have another place to hang a towel on me. And then you open this up, and you got plenty of room for all your shampoos and whatnot. You got the old Steamer Stink Sucker 500. Just kind of, you know, does its thing up there. The porcelain foot flush throne here too as well. And then even molded fiberglass countertops in the bathroom, which I think is pretty darn neat. Now the classic look is going to be white with very, very little speckles. This one's going to be a little bit more speckled than you'll typically see out there in the wild. So I'm sure it's just kind of like a little proto run. Suburban tankless on-demand hot water heater located right there. And then you have, obviously, you know, access to your plumbing and some storage there too as well. Now, coming back into the bedroom, you're going to see you have your own entrance. And the nice thing about this is when the RV is closed, when the sides are closed up, you can actually still get in and out with the bathroom. And I will close that here at the end of the video because I've been wanting to do it for a while and I got time today. So right here, you got emergency exit. So again, pull, push, and plop. Out in a hurry, some hanging room, both left and right. And I like how you have the cubbies there up underneath with outlets, USBs, and universal Cs. And they are using an Olympic Queen, so 66 by 80. Typically, I like the fact that they actually put the Olympic Queen, by the way, because a lot of these companies will call it a king, but it really is just an oversized queen. It's not far away from a king, though. Removable shelf there, more hanging room. Washer dryer prep, so that's awesome. You could actually do like a full-on stackable, I suppose. That's awesome. All right, so now let's get on with the outside portion, and then I'll come back in. We'll close it up, and then I'll get skedaddle. I got 8 of these Winnebagos here today to do. All right, so again, it's the 2026 Winnebago Thrive 24 RKS. All the specifications, length, height, tank sizes, awning sizes will be down in the description. So right here into the front, you got your front window, which is, you know, obviously a pretty good slick design, but you're also going to have the fiberglass front with the rock guard down here, a room for 2 batteries, 2 20-pound propane bottles, along with your power tongue jack, heated and enclosed underbelly. But you're also going to have direct forced heat here from the basement into the pass-through, which is going to be really nice. So anything that's in here is going to be a little bit more climate controlled for you. 200-watt solar charge control. I'm sorry, 200-watt, 200, geez, oh Pete's. Solar charge controller for your 200 watts of solar that comes standard on this model as well. And then again, that clean exterior. Jeez, I'm having a hard time talking. Your clean exterior, both steps flip up into the doorway. And I like how they mounted the JBL speakers down nice and low, so that way you can hear it a little bit better, you know, when you're hanging out. You got your black tank flush located right here, so clean up all the poopy. And then you got outlets, cable control, and then your ST radial, you know, max airs. So those are going to be, let's see if I can read the size of them. I don't see where they put the size. That's okay though. Extend and retract are going to be located right there. That's going to be for your power stabilizers. And then here heading up on the back, you have a ladder to get on top of your fully walkable roof. Check your seals, check your slides. They actually use a plywood decking, you know, up there. 5/8 tongue and groove for the floor, by the way, before I forget that. 2-inch receiver along with your 2 low point drains, your outside shower, exterior satellite hookup, city water connection, and then your 50 amp cord there too as well. That's going to be the back end of your tankless water heater. And then you also have your sewer connection. You are eligible to put a slide topper on if you would like to, which basically is a piece of awning that goes from there to there, and it prevents debris from falling on top of your unit. Waste and holding tank, sewage tank right there. Check the other back side here. Let's go ahead and close this thing up and show you what she's all about. These are the specs if you want to pause it. But again, those will be in the description. Battery disconnect. Located right there on the inside of the frame too, by the way. All right, let's close this puppy up. So you got your slide control right there. Let's go ahead and click that thing in, but make sure I got the garbage can door sitting out. Pretty quiet, pretty smooth. Look at that reflection. No wonder I'm getting all the views. It's a good looking man. Yeah, we'll double it up. Babe, if you're watching, I love you again. So as you can see, as you close this up, this room is primarily inaccessible for the rest of the unit, but you do have access to the sink and the refrigerator, which I think is nice. So you do get a little bit of storage that you can get there. And then you come on over to this entrance and you have access into your bathroom and the bedroom as well. So there is going to be, just to show you, there is going to be your bathroom door. So full access into that. But all right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Again, my name is Hunter. This is the 2026 Winnebago Thrive 24 RKS. Have a great day. See you.